Hello, everybody. Here's a little bonus. I have to finish this bracelet from earlier today, so I thought I'd do it live. So when we uh, tag this project and everything, it'll also be up in our recording. So instead of recording it and then posting it, I thought I'd just do it live. Hello, Robin. Hello, Karen. Thank you so much for joining me. This is just going to be a little impromptu. So let me add this to the stage. If you joined me earlier today, you saw this broadcast. And so now we're going to do part 2 of this loomed piece. I also have my normal camera stand back, so the angle is a little bit better here. So I want to talk about measuring for this too. We didn't really hit measuring quite as much as I wanted to. And then finishing off this other side so it looks like this, and then we'll button it all up. Okay, so let me measure this. I've got my measuring tape here. Let's take a look. And from that button to where my loomed section ends, it's about 6 3/4 of an inch right there. So I'm gonna, that closure is about an inch. So this is going to end up being about 7.5 inches, which is exactly right on for me. Okay. So the loomed section itself is about 5.5 inches for me here. And my wrist is 6.5. So I like to wear my pieces at about between 7.25 to 7.5 inches, just depending. And this width here, this is about 3/4 of an inch as well here across. So we're going to go ahead and close that up. Now I started this one. You saw this one on camera earlier. This one right here. This width, this one's a little bit wider. It's a little over an inch and 1.125" there. So I would maybe make this one a little bit longer. I love Emily's comment from the broadcast about making this into like a little pouch. Wouldn't that be fun? And if I were making this into a pouch, maybe I'd make this, the pouch, I'd want it to be about maybe 1.5 inches, right? Like that. And then I'd want it to fold over maybe 1/2 inch. So maybe I'd do like 2 inches worth of beading, maybe a little bit longer, just depending. So I'm going to investigate that. But I love also the way that these beads look together. I was really, really pleased with it. Oh, I'm so glad my mom is back watching, and Kathleen, thank you. It's kind of fabulous. I am pretty excited about this piece. You know, I haven't made something lately that I've really liked as much as I've liked this bead woven piece. So I'm excited to get it done. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this off. Really, if I put it around my wrist, you can see how kind of tight this will be. So if I make it out just a little bit more, I've got a little bit of room there. So this is going to end up probably about this same length right here. So let's go ahead and let's finish this off. Okay, so let me clasp this down here. I'm going to, the clampers that I'm using, they have a little padding on them, but you could pad them even more so they don't hurt your beads, like an old Pro Polish pad if I had one of those laying around. But it's not going to be clamped very long, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. Now I'll slide it back down to here, and I will separate these strands like I did earlier. I'll come in and I'm going to go ahead and clamp that down so it's tight. And we're going to macrame. And I'm going to make this just slightly shorter, I think. But we'll see how it looks. So I'll count. That was one full. I'll make a few and then I'll count them up and we'll see. We want to make these two ends even. And if you were watching my first broadcast, a bunch of you have joined me. Thank you so much for joining me for part 2, everybody. It's nice to see you all. Kind of a little impromptu make there. Let's see, this way. There we go. I glanced up at the camera and now I have no idea where I'm at on here, but there we go. So I just need this loop to be large enough to fit that button. This is the regular seal-on that I'm using. I also need these macrame lengths that I'm making to be long enough so that when I bring them together in the center, that this bracelet doesn't bow together like that. Okay. Oh my gosh, what kind comments you folks are making. Part 1, thank you, Kay, was so inspirational. Love the way I'm ending this, doing the different patterns, set me off. Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, I don't know why. I really was inspired with this. And I will be 100% honest. When Janice ordered the new bugles, I was like, what are you doing, JP? We don't need any more bugles. And then I realized, we don't have that many bugles, A. And B, we needed more bugles. So I'm really happy that we added these to the lineup. We're going to have more coming. The cool thing about them also is they cover a lot of ground pretty quickly, right? Like if I were looming all the way across with 11/aughts, this would have taken a whole bunch more. So it's a little faster to do them with the long bugles. I'm just going to hold this up next to this one. I actually have gone a little bit far. So I'm going to, let me count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It looks like 10 knots. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I went a little far. I'm going to take them out, actually. I'm going to at least take one out. Okay. And the way that we use this is we get our awl, and I'm just going to pull it out that way. My mom's saying it's cocktail time. Not quite, Ma. So close, though. So close. I think I've earned it today. And here's this. Let me clamp it back. And now that I actually know what I'm doing with this, right, that I understand this closure, that I'm not making it up on the fly like I was on the previous broadcast, it actually does go pretty quick. I'm going to clamp that down because we need our macrame base to be taut, right? So my macrame, knots up nice and evenly. Nice and even. All right, there we go. Then I've got to get on the live sale stuff. I'm really excited to show you folks on Friday the new check glass I've got for the live sale. And then we're going to follow that up with a button sale, I think the following Tuesday. The buttons that I have, if you loved the first button sale, the second button sale is going to be right up your alley. And like I mentioned, our vendor sent me a whole bag of just free giveaway buttons. So I'm going to, every order for the button sale next week is going to have some extras in it. I'm super excited. I also have some, I might toss some in our live sale. He sent me this cool bag of blue buttons. I've got a whole bunch of them. So everyone might get a cool blue glass button with their glass. Let's see. There we go. This is almost ready. Let me get it in. You folks are so sweet. Robin, thank you. You're giving me hope that this is going to look good. So I need 10. Let me count and see what I've got. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm like at 11, but this visually, this looks about right. So I'm going to leave it there. And now I brought everything together and I macrameed everything together. But let me see. I'm going to pull this in. Yes, look, just darling, right? Let me close this. Yeah, I think that's going to be right. So you know what I'm going to do, I think? I think I'm just going to, let me see what a knot looks like. A knot might be the right thing. I like how the knots look on the end of wrap bracelets. My mom is saying, do you want me to come and help me with the live broadcast on Friday? If you want to, Ma, you can always come. If you want to come over, I think she doesn't want to help with the live broadcast. She wants to see all the check glass strands. That's what she wants to see. See how I'm pulling each of these right here to just tighten each one. Kathleen, I'm the same way. Kathleen's saying when she gets started and she loves it, she just has to finish it. So I'm in agreement with you. Okay. So I'm going to try something out here. Kathleen, of course you can be my mama. Everyone can come. If you're in the Fresno area on Friday, come. We'll do all the broadcasts together live. How does that sound? Let me go ahead and focus this camera here. Okay. I am very lucky. I do have the world's best mom. It is true. And she doesn't even pay me to say that. I'm going to try tying a bead here on the end. It might be completely wrong or it might be amazing. Let me see. Let me get this 11-aught from my other project. 1, 2, 2, I said. 3. I'm going to slide them up. It might not be the thing, but I just want to check it and see. Okay. And I'm just going to tie a little knot in the end so that those seed beads, whoops, I don't want to get a string in there. So those seed beads aren't going to go anywhere. There we go. There's one. I could put just a bugle. Let's see what a bugle looks like. Let's see if I can get this bugle on this. Remember, this is regular Ceylon. Just an overhand knot. And they don't all have to be exactly the same length. I'm just going to try and get them kind of close here. Robin, yes, we all knew that you'd tie some beads. Oh, perfect. My mom's going to bring cheese. You know, that's what we talk about always on broadcasts because of, I think it's Margaret who started us talking about broadcasting and eating cheese. Let's add a couple more in these different colors. And let's see what it looks like. You could also add a little charm if you wanted. It's taking me just as long to put these beads on the end as it did to macrame, didn't it? Come on now. I'm going to cut this at an angle. There we go. And if that bead didn't work, I'm going to try another one. There it goes. Overhand knot. Almost there. I've got 3 down, 2 to go. I don't know if you folks can hear all the little birdies outside my studio here. They're just singing their little hearts out. It's cute little birdies. 2 more. Let me put on a white bugle. These are the size 1s. Oh yeah, thread through the buttonhole and some beads on that thread between the holes in the button. That would look cute as well. Kathleen, that would be nice. Around. Let me get my awl to kind of help me bring that down. There we go. And now one more. Let me see. I know I've got another color. Here we go. Here's my beads. Here's one. Let me cut this at an angle real quick. Might make it a little bit easier to get in there. And come up that bead right there. And once this goes on, we'll try it on. Cut these tails. Now, if I want to, I can come in and I can use my thread burner to burn the ends of my knots. So it'll kind of cauterize the knot there at the bottom. There we go. Okay, so there's that. Let me get my thread burner. There's one. I need to be really careful because I don't want to thread burn the knot. I want to thread burn the thread just above the knot. Let me. Oh, and I still have one naked thread. That's right, because I've got 5 sections. I've got 6 pieces of thread. Come on, there we go. I'll thread burn these and then I'll add one more little grouping of beads there. It's sticking literally by a thread. There we go. Let's put some on this. Yeah, look I like the way that looks. We didn't have to add any thread. We just used that. Whoops, you can't see it. I just used that at the very end. Right. Oh, this is really cute too. This would be darling. Little tiny buttons and then putting, stacking tiny button on bigger button. That would be cute too. Let's get this on there. I'll tie one more knot. Make it about the same size. It's all bunched up together, so it doesn't have to be exact. There we go. That looks right. There's a little extra bit of thread there. I'll clip away. That looks right. Let's get this in there. Yeah, I love buttons in general, for sure. There we go. That's underneath there. Come on. Oh, it's because I'm pressing here. I'm not even pressing the button. I'm like, why isn't this working? You have to press the button on the cottering iron. thread burner for it to actually work. There we go. Look at how cute that is. This would make, I don't know, this also I think has earring potential or pendant potential, some other things like that. Let me zoom out a bit and let's try this sucker on. Slide out. There we go. Let me get rid of these. I'm just going to add them to that mix that I'm not going to sort. And there it is. It's ready for its screenshot, ready for its close-up. And I'll get that photo over so we can post it on the project. But not too bad, right? Let me get it a little more centered. There we go. Screenshot time. Okay. So let me put this here. When were buttons first produced? You know, I'm not sure when buttons first started, you know, oh, and look, it fits just perfectly because people really, they pinned their clothes together a lot, even like in the Renaissance, stuff like that. So I would guess that buttons are laced up, things like that. I would guess that buttons didn't come around until probably the 18th century, probably late 1700s maybe, is my guess. Those 1600s, buttons on the fronts of jackets. So I don't know, maybe a little bit earlier, maybe 14th, 15th century, something like that. I'll have to look that up. Anyway, here it is. It fits like a glove, and you can see I can get a little finger underneath there, so it fits just perfectly. And see, it's not. Let me try and focus this. There we go. You can see it's not very thick either. Let's look at the side view. This button is just perfect with it. That's the oval button. But see that side view with the regular seal-on? See how it does feel very fabricy, right? It's really luscious, but it feels very substantial because the warp was the seal-on, right? So the seal-on really gives it quite a bit of support here. And then I use the KO for the weft, going right and left. And since it was such a small thread, it really disappears in. So the seal-on, you can see it. It's like, you know, lines on a music sheet or something, right? It's kind of fun. Let me focus that one more time. There we go. And you can see here when the button comes around. First, let me measure this one more time, door to door, so you can see it. From that button to kind of the right where it sits. Yep, it's about 7, maybe 7 and a quarter, 7 and an eighth, maybe. It's about right. So, whoops, that's all off the screen. Sorry. About there. So this is good. Good. I'm so glad. Good, Naomi. This really was not tough to do. I mean, I literally started it yesterday. I procrastinated long enough, you know, that it forced me to kind of make some decisions, which I like. So yeah, so here it is. Again, each of these little sections here is about 10 to 12 rows. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 little segments there. This project is called Avenue. And it's up on the website. And we'll update this photo, so it'll be up for you. Let me put it back on my wrist because I love it oh so much. And I think you'll enjoy the looming. It's really... it's very calming, very fun to do. So there's the button there on the back. It doesn't look too manufactured, which I like. And remember, if you make this a little wider, you're probably going to have to make your piece a little bit longer, but this looks just about right for me. All right, my friends, that does it. So I will see you. Oh, I took my earrings off. Let me put earrings back on. That does it for this. If you were watching earlier, you did see that we did have a bugle bead coupon that expires tonight. I'll flash it one more time. I might as well. You'll save 20% on all of our bugles, including our new ones, and all our 11/aughts. They're 20% off till midnight tonight. So here it is. Look at that. You'll get started on your piece. I'm real excited. All right, my dear friends, I will see you on Friday for the live sale. That does it for me. Thank you so much for joining me for part 2 of this looming odyssey that I took you on today. And I appreciate all of your kind words and your support. Thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you on Friday. Bye-bye.